Well, hey guys, thanks for joining me. It's not good news when anybody comes in and has a prop strike or trip and fall. When you're foot launching, it's a way of life. So don't get discouraged if you're coming into the sport and you take a foot launch hit and a trip and a fall. Usually the average guy breaks about 3 to 4 sets of propellers and cage parts in the first year. But if you remember another video we did about this virus PPG and what I said I didn't like about it, this is one of the things. Now this was his first attempt. And listen, this happens once in a while. We got a beautiful morning here. We had a perfect wing. As he got on it and started to throttle up, he changed his footing, and then trying to keep his balance a little bit, he pulled one arm down and then tripped and fell because the wing took him off to the side. And this is just one hit. Now he got lucky because he didn't break the prop, but bring in that camera for a second. And if you watch the other video, he got lucky. He cracked his prop. It's cracked on the other side here, but normally this prop will wipe out all of this stuff. And this is what I didn't like about the virus, one of them that I didn't like about the virus paramotor. To me, it looks amazing, but absolutely everything on this is not thought through. We're using one of the worst motors, which is the Moster. Everybody's used this motor because it's cheap, but they're burning them out. It's the most amount of pistons. It's the most amount of exhaust cracking. It's the most amount of motor outs. It's the most everything. That's why they call it the Moster. But a lot of people use it because the manufacturers use it cheap. But on this one, look at this cage. They got this really cool looking cage, but now this piece is bent, and if he has to replace it, we're going to try to bend it back for him. But if he has to replace this, would normally, like I said, he got lucky. Usually you wipe out all this. He bent this right here. Check this out. This is just one little trip and fall. And look at this thing. It's already bent up in here. And this is thing. But if he would have wiped this out even completely and the prop is cracked, he would have to, I don't even know how he replaces this, because if you take and replace this 1/4, how do you get all the rivets out of there and put the netting on there and put all new rivets on, or do you wipe out the whole cage? This is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. These companies are out there making stuff that looks really cool, really sweet. Throw a little carbon fiber look on it and put this, laser cut metal on it, but they're not thinking about the aftermath. When one trip and fall happens, you wipe out all this shit. He got so lucky that he didn't break it all. But I just wanted to do a follow-up video, and that was one attempt, the first thing. We had a perfect wing above his head. We got a beautiful morning here at Carver's Field. It's not his fault. It's the way of life for foot launching. It's much harder. It's much more of a challenge. It's a heavy unit. It's probably well over 65, 70 pounds. I don't know. What would you say, Tim? How would you? That's a heavy unit.
Yep, heavy.
I mean, it's quite heavy. It's not anything like, but it is what it is. But I just want to show you, if you were following that last video that I had about the virus, let people know about this stuff. And this engine, unbelievably loud. You're going to get chased out of fields. I think, Tim, you even said that you can't even fly around the...
I can't fly around the hometown because it's too noisy.
It's unbelievable. But an exhaust that has no joints in it. A lot of issues with them. But I wanted to share that with you just from one trip and fall. We're going to try to fix him up and get him up in the air, but this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to share that with you.